Well, good morning, JD. Good morning, Charlotte from space. What a beautiful complex this is.
I know, it is quite special here, isn't it? I am joining today, so I'm looking forward to that.
Whoa! Breaking news. Jen Dooley is joining
Dooley's in the building.
space. Genuinely, you are joining space today.
Yes, I've been thinking about it for a while because obviously I was at David Lloyd for a very long time, but it's time for me to move across.
Well, how fortuitous, how fortunate that here we are today with our leading interview with Charlotte Gilley. And let's introduce you now. We're doing this on the road now. We used to have a studio, but now we're taking this on the road. Charlotte, welcome to Padel Stories. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing. How
Feeling
are you?
amazing
How are you
here.
guys?
Well, it's going to be streamed on YouTube. It's going everywhere, isn't it? We're going global, aren't we, Jen?
Yes, we are. Watch out, world.
So tell us, what about your love? I mean, you've got such a fascinating story to you, Charlotte. When did your love of paddle come?
When was it? It was last year. Claire did an event over at Pure Paddle in Alderley Edge and got a group of ladies together, and they did an introduction course there, and I was shocking. I couldn't even. It was a joke.
We've all been there.
It was terrible. I only went because Charlie is a friend of mine, and she said, "Oh, come along." And I thought, I'll give it a go. See what all the hype's about. And there was a couple of coaches there teaching us what to do, and I even said to them, "This is a joke. What is this all about? You can't do this. You can't do that." Anyway, something got me that day, even though it was terrible, and then that was it. And I wasn't good enough to have a game straight away. I had a few coaching lessons at Pure Paddle there with Ollie.
Yeah.
And that was about a year and a half ago, and I've not stopped since. The addiction is real.
Well, we're going to come on, aren't we, Jen? A lot about Ollie Aspen, a lot about that paddle-thon he did in 24 hours. But Charlotte, you are known for your unbelievable charity work, and tell us about all that story with Maverick and everything like that.
So I set Maverick Stars up about 10 years ago. I found myself in a position where I just needed a purpose, really, to get something to get my teeth into. And I'd got involved in boxing, and I'd had an amateur fight myself. And because I was in that world, I saw the need for the support that isn't there at the moment, financially and people's time to try and build these clubs up, because a lot of them are on. But, they're built on a shoestring, really, these little clubs, and there's nothing to them, is there? You've been in so many amateur clubs, probably, Jen.
Yeah.
Sadly, a lot of them in a lot of disrepair, and I thought I could put some of my time to good use here, trying to help. And I was involved in a club that really needed support, so I made it my mission to try and raise money to get them a new site, because they could only get about 20 kids in that gym, and there was kids knocking on the door, and it was a shame that those kids couldn't use the facility because of the size of it. So I raised £600,000 not through fundraising events, but applying to Sport England and local pots of funding. But it's so complicated to do it. You have to jump through so many hoops. It's not filling a small form in. You really have to know what you're doing. So with some help and support, we ended up raising the money, and that club has now opened and is in full swing in Timperley. And because I enjoyed doing that so much, I thought I want to help other clubs as well, and I want to help individuals and other boxers. So that's where it started.
Right, so I want to take it back a little bit to, obviously you have been raised in Alderley Edge.
Yes.
So
Yep,
you wouldn't
Chelford,
expect necessarily that boxing would be the sport that you would find yourself in.
No.
So can you take us back a little bit as to how that happened, sort of your upbringing, and what led you into boxing in the first place?
I did grow up in Cheshire, but I was never a Cheshire girl, really. All my family are from Manchester, Wythenshawe, so I've grown up with a real working class edge to my life. Even though I was very fortunate to live in a lovely, lovely area and went to private school, it just wasn't that. It was not my gig at all. I was a round peg in a square hole, completely, always been. And that's kind of followed me through life, really. So things like, I've always loved boxing, and I did a lot of Thai boxing when I was younger. So when I got married, there's a bit in between, really, that's quite important, that I ended up in recovery and a recovering alcoholic. which I've not really spoke about before, but I'm very proud of my roots and where I've come from. And I think there's so much misunderstanding about that, that I hope you don't mind me using this platform to talk about that a bit.
Absolutely. Share away. This is...
Because not a lot of people talk about it. And like I say, I think it is misunderstood. And I've been sober and clean for 17 years.
That's amazing.
And from doing that, I've had like a whole new life given to me.
Yeah.
Sounds dramatic, doesn't it? But
I don't think so, not really. I think if you take back to where that addiction and that led you, to get through the other side of that, of course it is a whole new world. And I guess that you see the world then through a completely different lens once you're through that fog.
Yeah, completely different. So for how I live my life up to 33 to the last 17 years is like, it's dramatic for me, you know, to see the difference, and my husband will vouch for that. And so I felt like I needed a purpose in my life. So from getting sober, as they say, and then getting to this point where I started, I had a daughter, and then I fell into this sort of like depression hole with anxiety, and I needed exercise to help me. And I found it. Without that, I don't know what I'd have done. And boxing was the thing that really helped me and focus. And it did become another addiction in a way, but kind of
a healthy interpretation.
A healthy one. I mean, anything's healthy as long as it's not having a negative impact in other areas of your life. And alcohol was, and I changed that. Not an easy route to go down. And if anyone listening to this does need any help or support, I'll happily chat to them. Obviously, that's completely different to what the point of your podcast is, but I'm glad you give me that chance.
Everyone's life story is important, and I think it's always nice to go back to see how you got there, because you're doing extraordinary things in society with the charity work that you're doing. So there'll be something how you got there. So it's really good for us to, and thank you for sharing that with us. And it's interesting, and you won't be the only one. You know, there's lots of people out there that are finding various things, and I'm sure there's lots of people playing padel that have found a padel addiction to, you know, stop another addiction somewhere along the line. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Absolutely. And when did that pivot come from boxing to padel? Or boxing and padel? Boxing and padel.
So I boxed and had my focus on my charity for 8 years, and I set up my own amateur boxing gym with Jamie Moore about 6 years ago.
Sorry, just for the record, for maybe those non-pugilists who might not know about Jamie Moore, is he some world champion or whatever?
He wasn't world, but he was European.
Sorry, I just don't want to nod like a nodding dog.
No, it's okay.
Sorry. Jen knows, but I don't. Jamie Moore.
So Jamie is a Salford lad, but he's very well known in his area, and he did amazing in boxing. And he came to me knowing my charity and what we were trying to achieve, and said he would love to set up his own gym to give back in his hometown. So we found that was my mission, and we found a space in Walkden, and that's been open now for 6 years, and we have hundreds of kids going through that gym.
And you definitely have to name tag Nige.
Oh, and Nige, yeah. So Nigel,
Nigel
Travis.
Ben, or
no, sorry, no,
The real
Nigel. So Nigel and Jamie have come as a pair, really. They work with the pros together and coach.
Double act, right.
Nigel's got his own gym in Moss Side. I'm very close to Nigel, and I'm on his charity board as well. And we all support each other. You know, we're all trying to do the same thing. We're trying to help kids get off the streets, help adults who want to come and get fit or need a new focus. So that's my boxing world in a very small nutshell, but there's a lot more to it, really there.
Well, there is a lot more to it, because Charlotte is our second MBE holder, female MBE holder. Now, I've known Charlotte for a little while, and this is not something that she advertises, but what an incredible achievement to have got your MBE. So can you walk us up to that point of the charity work that you did? Do you know how you were nominated for it, and how was getting the award?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that imposter syndrome, honestly, when I got the email through, I thought it was one of these scam joke things, and I had to honestly. And I rang my friend who Don McGuinness, he's in media and stuff, and he was helping me a bit with a charity. He said, "I've got this email, so it doesn't make any sense to me." He went, "I think I know what it is," and he knew that I'd been nominated by a friend's father who'd seen the work I was doing, and he put me forward. But apparently it takes a long time for them to check that you are who you say you are and you're legitimate, and because they won't reward MBEs to people who've obviously got a colourful background.
A colourful background.
I mean, how I got it, I don't know. I'm only joking. So yeah, it was amazing. But there are so many people, I must say, in boxing that do amazing things, and they dedicate the time and their energies, and they give up so much to help support, because it's 90% of it's volunteer work. All the coaches in our club, they're there 3 or 4 hours a week. They don't get paid.
Yeah.
It's a volunteer-led sport, because there's no money in it. The kids in our club pay £1 to come in, so we can't afford. We wouldn't run it. We wouldn't be able to run it if we had to pay all the coaches to deliver the classes. Some of them do run a bit like a business, and they get paid, and that's fine. But the way we do it, it's not that way. But I've gone off track. But there are so many people within boxing who deserve recognition for what they've done. So I felt like, I don't really deserve this, so I don't talk about it a lot.
Well, you've done amazing things, and there's a few initiatives that you've set up along the way that have been, in fact, I knew your Sting Like a Bee initiative before I'd ever met you, so I've seen that around for a long time, in and around boxing. So you do other things. It's not just about getting children into boxing, is it? It is very much about a community. What are some of those initiatives that you've done?
So the one you mentioned there, that came off the back. It was a very sad story. There was a young man called Youssef Maki who was stabbed in Hale.
In Hale, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was a real catalyst for a lot of people, making them aware of the situation we're in, not in just urban areas across the country, but even leafy Hale. It just happened in a random street, and it shocked people. And it certainly had an impact on me, because this kid was also involved in a boxing club, and he had on the outside what seemed a very good life, and nobody really knows the ins and outs of that, so I won't go into it too much. But it triggered myself to use the boxing gyms as hubs for kids to go to try and give them a purpose and get them. They say off the streets, they're not all on the streets. They could be at home on their Xbox. They could be doing anything. But we just wanted to set these free sessions up for as many kids as we could across the country to have access to boxing, because they're not all free, these sessions, and they're not all accessible for kids. So we started in Manchester, and we put one in every borough of Manchester. So I think we did 11 in the end, because we put a couple in one particular borough. And Andy Burnham backed the project. He actually came down and when we launched it, and he was really happy about what we were doing to try and support the city. And it was an amazing success. We got these hubs all over in Salford, in Bury. Tell me where all the boroughs are, Nick. In Manchester, because my brain's not working.
Bury, is it?
Wigan,
Wigan, Bury, Bolton.
We set them all up, and they were all just packed instantly, because we were linked into all the services, the youth services, the youth justice system. We met with police, and we had everyone on board, because they could see the worth in what we were doing. And then COVID hit. Just as we launched all this. And I know gyms shut for a time, but then they were allowed to reopen, and we tried to get a lot of these kids back, but sadly we couldn't get them all back. But it's still going now. The projects are still run all over. Not as strong as when we initially started, but we do get a good retention rate. It's good, over 50% for the kids that come. They do stay, and then they'll stay and box for that club, potentially, which is an amazing thing. Yeah.
So you are literally master at charity work.
Yeah, not the fundraising side. We can talk about that, can't we, in a bit about what Ollie did.
No, I think it's important to shine a light on that most recent 24-hour paddle-thon that you were so into. I remember seeing you at 7 a.m. and you'd been up all night, and you said, "Nick, I feel slightly delirious." And then she had to bless it. She had to organise to top and tail the event. There was like an Americano, Jen. And poor Charlotte was kind of like, entrusted to arrange it, and she was like,
I don't know how I got entrusted with that. I had not a clue what I was doing. And Ollie set it all up so a fool could do it, but a fool with no sleep is a different scenario.
But it is important because I think and Jen's absolutely right that the charity, incredible charitable work. I mean, you said it right at the beginning of our interview. You said, "Oh, it's just raised 600 grand," as if it was just like ordering a Cortado here at April's. It was, that's a hell of a lot of money. And you rather said it in a very nonchalant, just like, just 600 grand, modest way. But I'm fascinated, Jen, about just how Charlotte, obviously this is Padel Stories podcast, how Padel has become featured massively in your life. You're a figure in this. You're a face in the industry.
I don't know.
She's getting imposter syndrome again. She's getting imposter syndrome.
You are one of the most self-depreciating people in comparison to what you have achieved and the lives that you've changed.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Do you get to speak to people whose lives you have changed? Do they say to you, Charlotte, what you've done for me? Do you get that feedback from the work that you've done?
I do, because I work directly with some athletes, young athletes who I see regularly to see the progress in their career and their journey, but a lot of the projects are all over the country, so I don't see them. But I do get. I mean, I've got my own amateur club. I mean, just seeing a kid walk in there with a smile on his face is enough for me. I mean, Jamie, when he's there, he cries nearly every week. He's a
very emotional person.
He's a
Jamie,
very emotional person, yeah, which is good. So yeah, I don't get to talk to them a lot, but I see it. I see it from a distance. So.
And are you still boxing now?
I haven't as much. I think the Padel has definitely taken over.
Charlotte did invite me when my daughters joined the same school as Charlotte's daughter. Yeah. Charlotte was the first school mum to speak to me, so again,
memorable.
Yes, and she invited me down to Space, and we had a little pad session, didn't we?
With Scott Quigg, yeah.
With Scott Quigg, who I already knew, and we had a good pad session. She's got some skills.
That's high praise from Jennifer Dooley. That's high praise.
Yeah, she's incredible. Put those gloves on her and she's scary.
Yeah, I do love the boxing. And, I'm not saying never again, but I definitely won't fight again. You can't fight as a woman over the age of 40 in amateur anyway.
Yeah.
I think the cap
is right?
your 40th, yeah. Well, I've
not looked into it.
Jen's 32, so she's got 8 more years.
There we go. We'll get you in the ring. No, I wish I was. So that's done for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we could get you a white collar.
Oh no. Oh, I couldn't think of anything worse. Would you do that?
No, I would not. No, definitely
She's
not.
too busy doing podcasts. She's
She's
got to do these podcasts with me. She can't start doing white collar.
Yeah.
Exactly. So obviously you're a person who picks up on things that are going around. You obviously get fully versed in the things that you get involved with. So Padel has come along for you now. And how is the Padel thing going? Are you going to hold any more events? Maybe it's worth actually just going back and talking about the 24-hour event that you did with Ollie.
Yeah.
Where's that idea come from? How did it start and how's it played out?
So obviously my addiction for Padel was real, and
yes.
I was going through the motions with that, and then I hope Ollie won't mind me speaking on his behalf, but he himself is trying to make it as a pro and move, he's on that journey, and it's very similar to the guys I work with in the boxing. They start off as an amateur, and then you see the talent and the dedication, and then they want to move up. Yeah. And often with that move, it needs support, it needs money.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
It needs time, and how do you earn money when you need time to train? And there's a lot to be looked at there. And chatting with Ollie, I could see the synergy between what I was doing with my boxers and with what he needed support-wise. He's got a lot of love around him and great family support, but as regards, he needed to work, he needs to earn money, and it just doesn't work. You can't work full-time and be an athlete. No.
Yeah, of course.
So I said, well, my charity, we're not just specific to boxing, but that's the only world I ever knew. But we kept the charity open to any sport, really. So I said, maybe this is something we could work with you on, with the contacts I've got, and try and help support your Padel journey. Yeah. Something I know nothing about, but it's all basics. He needs the same things as a boxer does to make him, make him great. You know, the strength and conditioning, the right mindset, you know, all that kind of thing. So I started trying to help and support him, and then he, in turn, he became an ambassador for Maverick Stars. We set up a mental health session down at Destination Padel, a 10-week free course there, and Ollie was only supposed to come for the first 2 weeks to give the guys a kind of idea of how to set up a game and play paddle, and he stayed for the whole, he kept going every week for 10 weeks.
So evidently he was getting as much, if not more, out of it than the other people. Do you think
Absolutely.
he was on the journey as well?
Yeah, and it was a 2 hour, was it 2 hours or an hour and a half session, and it took us, you know, nearly an hour to get there, an hour back, so it's a big chunk of his day, but he was happy to do that, and the guys loved him, and that session down there, even though we've stopped funding it, we did it for 10 weeks, it's still going strong.
Amazing.
So they all go back every week. They've got sponsors who now have committed to pay for another block of another 10 weeks and another 10 weeks. So we've created a little community down there. So those guys are all a member of a hub that focuses on mental health and alcohol and drug recovery.
Fantastic.
So it's something close to my heart as well. So
Well, it's authentic, isn't it? You've been, like you say, you've been clean 17 years, which is an incredible achievement. But it's authentic to you, isn't it?
it is authentic to me, and it just, I mean, I came away and was like, Ollie, look at what we've created. I don't think he realised what was there, what we've done, and that's down to him as well, really, because of the way he was with them. He was so good for a young guy. You know, he's only 20 to be able to reach to these.
He's a class act. I've met him. You know, we're part of the OGs, aren't we? And with Padel in 2022, when Ollie worked at the Padel Club, and
When he was like 18. He was about 18 when he first
I love his
started,
mum, by
wasn't
the
he?
way.
Oh, his mum's amazing.
Do you remember? She was doing that when he was working at the Padel Club with the sandwiches, and she'd come in and, you know, just seeing, you know, again on that 7 a.m. So what, he was like 2/3 into his 24 hours when I saw you, and his mum was waiting, you know, just like there was all those snacks. I think I might have lifted a croissant or a pain au chocolat. She gave me those looks like, what are you doing taking my son's pain au chocolat? But do you know what I mean? Just like you stressed about like Ollie's family, strength of, you know, family around. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, they give him so much support, but you need more than that, don't you?
You
need
do,
that,
yeah.
and you need other people to see the talent in you, and I think that builds your confidence, doesn't it? So that's what we're trying to do with Ollie. We're just trying to give him a platform and, you know, help support him. So in turn, after he became an ambassador for us, he said, I want to help you and I want to give back. And a lot of people within my Maverick time have helped, and they've done, you know, runs and little things, but we've never done a proper fundraiser.
Yeah.
So I was a bit on the back foot. I was like, I don't know. I don't like putting my begging bowl out, and I don't like asking. But he was so sure. He came up with this big plan, because he likes a big plan, of what we were going to do and how we were going to do it. And within I think we only got the date 3 weeks before he did it, and we did it, and we raised 17 grand.
Yeah, incredible.
Which that, to me, is more of an achievement than the 600.
Is it really?
Well, it is, because that 600 was public money that, you know, from lotteries and from Sport England and from local trusts, and that money's there to be used.
Yeah.
But this is money that people had actually given out of their own pockets. For me, that's a different kind of fundraising.
Yeah.
And they all saw what he was putting himself through, and were committed to being involved.
Yeah.
So they didn't only give the money to us, they also came at, you know, 11, 12, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, to support Ollie.
Yeah,
'cause he
to
is a
support Ollie,
special
support
person.
the charity.
Well, here we are at Space, and Charlie Linus, I know she's in Dubai at the moment, but she's
love
no,
Charlie.
but you mentioned Charlie right at the end, thinking we have to kind of like shine a light on Charlie Linus, but Charlie was there and she did a story.
It was fantastic.
Do you remember? Well, I woke up at like 5:30, so I was like, but I didn't know what she was waking up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I thought she was off to a flight or something like that. And then it's like powdering her face, and the next minute she's at Pure Paddle, and she was there on the 2:30. Well, that says a lot for Ollie. Says a lot for you, Charlotte, and what you're achieving with Mavericks. Do you know what I mean? I think that's testament to you that you got people getting up at 2 a.m. or 1 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, not even the milkmen, not even the army get up at 2 a.m. You know, not even the Marines get up at 2 a.m. And they're all doing that for you and Ollie.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I think there was a good mixture of both. People who knew Ollie wanted to support him, people who knew my charity and the work we're doing. I mean, that 3 a.m, I think it was Charlie, Phoebe and Alex Bruce.
Was it Alex, right? Okay,
yeah. And I can't, I was gone by that point. I don't know who came in at 4 o'clock. Oh, I do. Yeah. Chris Munro. But they all did. Not one person let me down. Everybody came. Everyone came to the tournament. It was just incredible. So for me, that 17,000, I still can't. Doesn't quite. It's not quite sat with me yet. I don't know. But the work we're going to do with that, we're just planning it out at the moment. But that will impact. If you think the Destination Padel project cost me about £1,200 for 10 weeks, and the amount of people there must have been 40 people. So you do the maths for what 17 grand's going to do. Yeah. If we do the same project set up in different clubs all over.
Just jumping in on that, how is someone interested in doing that, as you call it, the Destination Padel project? How does one go about to sign up for that?
For the one at Destination Padel?
Yeah.
So they go through the Mind and Body Hub, I think it's called. Carrie Ann, a friend of mine, she's got that in Northwich. I can put the details in.
Yeah, we can put that in the bio. I think it'd be quite useful as well.
But it's that's on a Monday night at Destination Padel, 6:30 to 7:30.
Yeah.
And that's every week. And
so that format now, are you planning with the 17,000 that you've raised to roll something like that out to other clubs?
Yeah, I'd like to do that project, and I want to engage with some young children, your young people, because you see a lot around of these events being held to engage kids from local schools and communities in the sport. But I haven't seen, and I'm talking with the LTA at the moment about a follow through with those.
Yes.
So these group sessions happen, don't they? There's a lot of competitions and who's the best at this, that and the other. But then what happens then? How does that kid get onto that court for a small fee? Yeah. Because other than booking a court that could be £50.
It's too expensive for a lot of kids. It's just not accessible.
No, it's not accessible. And there's a lot of people doing good work around it. So I really want to link in with those people and offer not just the 17 grand we've raised. You know, my charity still has a pot of money that I'm always looking to use and help support people. So
I think it's absolutely brilliant, and your aims are so altruistic. They're authentic aims, and I think, you know, the moment we all love paddle, don't we? And we play and we pay whatever we pay for the 90 minutes to 60 minutes. But you're doing something there, which is, we've touched on so many things as I'm just writing notes. You're copiously writing notes. We touched on addiction. We do like to do, Jen and I, like focus on well-being. We did on that, but that's more like ice baths and cryo and everything like that. Pilates. This is really getting into to well-being, isn't it? This stuff like recovery. We talked addiction. You've opened up, and I think this is so important. And you know, those who play paddle, it's been a massive release. We've had that with, you know, our friends who are kind of like left, you know, retired from elite sport, and they've found that, you know, vacuum in their life where they're unable to kind of find their why, you know, and you know, what you're doing is absolutely magnificent, isn't it, Jen?
Yeah, I think the sport is something special for a lot of people, that it can lift you out of a bad place, can't it? As you've experienced, as I think we've probably all experienced to varying degrees. Yeah. So yeah, it's really important to add that community to it as well, which you're doing, and making paddle an accessible sport to many, many more people that probably couldn't have found that, you know, without these initiatives that you're running.
Yes. Go on. I was just going to say, I mean, it's hit the ground running, this sport, hasn't it? And it's like, boom. And if you've got money and you've got the access and you've got a car and you've got a racket and it's brilliant. You can all go. But I think there's people on catch up that really, you know, we need to focus on, and certain groups and certain areas that haven't perhaps quite got that. And that's where my link in with the boxing world, those groups of people, those cohorts that I know would find it difficult to get into the sport. I think we need to make it real for them as well. It should have no barriers.
Well, we're getting close to the Jen Dooley signature question now. Do you know what the Jen Dooley signature question is? We run at a thing. Jen, over to you. So basically, well, I'm going to leave it to Jen because this is her question.
This is exciting.
So on our podcast, Charlotte, I always ask the guest as the last and closing question, if you could get on the paddle court with you and 3 others, or 4 people and watch, that's up to you, who would you choose, dead or alive?
Oh my God, Ray Winston.
Oh, amazing.
Okay. Oh. Whoa, just park it there.
Can we make this happen?
That we can manage.
Yeah, sure.
So excited.
You're an MBE. Anything can happen.
I don't know.
I'm sure he's listening, Ray.
Ray. Oh, Ray. I've been very close to meeting Ray, but it just didn't quite happen.
You met Ray Winston?
Have you met him?
You'd have met Ray Winston.
He's a big boxing lover.
I was at an event with him, but I've never actually met him face to face, yeah. I'm sure he came to Rick's fight at the City of Manchester Stadium.
He's got a massive love of boxing.
I think it
He
might
was a
have been
boxer
there
himself,
that he
wasn't
was there. Yeah.
Okay. So Ray
Okay,
Winston.
so can we put Ray Winston on
Are
the
you
list?
on the ticket on this one? Because Jen's, as she said, you can either be just on the sidelines watching.
Fuck that. Oh, sorry.
Say it. No rules, no judgment. Even Nathan's
Oh,
relaxed
God.
about it.
And there we go. Sorry, actually, I've done quite well to get this far without swearing
know as well.
problem
because
at all.
I'm well known here for having.
Nathan's looked up. He's just like, the F word's been dropped. There's no rules, is there, Nathan? No
I
judgment in April.
Padel with Charlotte, and there was definitely a few F-bombs get dropped.
Yeah. I'm known for my language. It's only passion, Jen, though, isn't it?
Exactly.
I'm not
Exactly.
calling that person what I say. I'm talking
call it
about the
yourself.
ball, the racket, or me. Yeah.
So we've got
So
far
we've got Ray.
Winston.
I think I'd have to have him next to me.
So where do you
the-
play, on the left or the right?
I play on the right, so he'd have to be
left.
He'd have to be
Yeah,
there.
I imagine he's a
He'd
right-handed
be
player.
strong at the net.
Yeah,
he'd
strong
be
at the net,
definitely
yeah.
strong at the net. That's a good position.
So
Yes. I love a
Charlotte
big, strong
Gilley
man.
and Ray.
Are we writing this down? This could happen.
I'm a geek. I manifest it. I like to. I don't just wanted to say
Right,
yeah.
I'm going to
Carry on.
manifest this as well.
So Charlotte plays on the right. So
Yeah.
you're
And
playing
we
partner.
can sell tickets.
Yeah,
to
we
come
could
and
sell
watch.
tickets to this, except my next person's dead, so you're not going to get him.
Who?
George Michael.
Okay. Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Okay, well, we might have to find someone else and just play George Michael in the background.
Yeah.
So it's right. Ray Winston, Charlotte Gilley, George Michael.
Obviously, you'd be facing him.
I mean, you could just do a
Yeah,
mixed
yeah,
doubles
yeah,
with
yeah.
Charlie Linus. There's no rules. Doesn't
Oh,
have
I
to be
don't know.
famous.
Yeah,
Doesn't
you
have to be
see,
famous. It can be anyone.
I don't
can't
want to. I don't think I want a woman. I think I'd want all men.
it? Okay.
I would, I'd go all in and get all the fellas. I like a good game with men. Do you?
Yeah.
It's definitely a different game,
It's
isn't
a
it, when you
different
play
game.
with all men?
But I like it when I can hold my own with men. Although when I played with you, that was terrible.
No.
Oh, Nick, you're so kind. It was
No,
shocking.
no,
You even said, "Let's forget about that."
You were
first
probably.
set."
You're probably.
Let's forget about the first
You're probably
set.
busy fundraising. It was
I
probably your
thought,
mind
oh,
was cluttered
Jesus.
with fundraising.
He's even wiped the first set out for me. It was that bad.
So
It
go
was
on.
at Claire Stobart's house at 8
It
in the
was,
morning. I
it
nearly
was.
had a panic attack driving in, and so much pressure. Claire
Yeah, that
Stobart,
is
Nick Bianchi.
pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his
Who were you
dog. I was with Ollie. Poor
Okay,
Ollie. We
okay.
still couldn't pull it back. He was
No.
Even with those
Even-
famous
yeah.
moves.
And who's the last one? I would say I've got to go box someone in boxing
Yeah,
here.
I was going to say.
Does Jamie play?
Yeah, not that
Not
good.
very well. He's not invited.
Nigel
Sorry,
Travers?
Jamie.
No, I
I
don't
sound like
like
I sound like I know Nigel really
I like
well.
a bit of
Not
ha-ha
Nigel.
when I'm playing paddle, so maybe somebody funny. Who could we have as the
Jason
funny?
Manford.
Jason Manford.
Good
There
shout.
you go. Good to look at. Makes you
Yeah,
laugh.
great
He is
shout.
now, isn't
Yeah.
he? Jason's in great shape.
He's
at the
in
moment.
great shape.
So-
Saw him the other day.
So
Love
we
Jason.
Padel
so we
has
have
changed him.
Ray Winston, Charlotte Gilley, George Michael, Jason Manford. Well, we know Jason plays on the right. George Michael will go on the left. That would be a really good game.
That would be a great game. I'd pay to watch that. I'd put my charity money in for Maverick Stars Trust.
There we
There you
go.
go. We
There we go.
probably just need to work out how George Michael can be manifested.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's another
I
story.
might
Anything's
switch
achievable.
George out for somebody real, and we could get this on, couldn't we?
I think we could really make this happen.
Yeah.
Paddle Stories
Switch
is going
George
global,
out
as
for
we said.
Eddie Hearn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like a bit of
Yeah.
Eddie.
I like
Speaks
a bit
well.
of Eddie, but I'm
Speaks
probably
well.
You like a
not
bit of
allowed
Eddie?
to say that.
Speaks well, doesn't he, Eddie? He's good. Yeah, handsome
He's a-
chap.
He's a very
very
handsome chap.
handsome
He's very.
Quite charismatic.
He's charismatic.
Do you
I
like
have
the
met
East
him.
End? Do you like the Cockney accent? I mean, he's not
I
Cockney.
love a
Say
Cockney.
no.
I wouldn't. I love a
Streamed
Cockney.
on YouTube all around the world.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say no. Right,
I wouldn't
Eddie.
say no, would you?
Eddie. I think he's handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a handsome chap, isn't
Can I
he?
ask
Very
you
handsome.
who would you have on court?
It's not my call. I'm merely the presenter.
on,
I'm merely the
just one
presenter.
person.
I'm merely
One
the.
person.
I'm
One
merely the
person.
presenter. Who would I be on court? I played Vorney with. We played about 150 games together, so he's my go-to partner. Yeah.
That's a bit of a letdown.
Well, who do you talk about, a woman or something like
Well,
that?
anyone. Yeah.
I'll have to give it thought. You're putting me on the spot. We're just
I am.
merely presenters.
We just put her
Nearly
on the
presented.
spot.
But that she's the guest. She's the guest. I'll have to give it some thought. We'll have to give it some
Charlotte's
thought.
the only one who's turned the tables on us so far.
know.
I was
I know.
interested in other people.
And that's a wonderful trait, and you can see that actually. Go back to on a more serious note. I mean, that runs through your veins. You're here to help people. First of all, you got yourself right 17 years ago, but throughout it now, you're just on this wonderful committed journey to helping others. And as Jen said, you're so self-deprecating, your modesty, but that's what endears you to so many people, and that's why everyone loves you, Charlotte Gilley.
Charlotte, where can people find you and the charity and things that you're doing, just if they want to look it up?
Yeah, well, I've got a website, Maverick Stars Trust, Instagram, same thing. And I'm happy if anyone wants to ring me and chat to me, get my number off either of you two. Or just drop me an email or a DM through.
Well, we'll put it on on our bios on YouTube and everything like that. And we must thank Claire Stobart and all the team. Nathan, who just kind of like came in and deputised and worked out. We always have comms issue. We've got the curse of the comms. But thank you to Space and to April's Kitchen for looking after us and making it feel so welcome. And of course to you, Charlotte. On behalf of Padel Stories, Jen, myself, and all the team, thank you so much indeed.
Thank you. Thank you, honestly, for inviting me, because I never even... What are you laughing at?
No. She's gone on self-deprecation mode.
I don't know. I never think I've got much to say or offer, but you really made me feel comfortable to talk about it. Because just to say, me opening up about my own personal journey, it was on my mind where to go with that, because it can be misconstrued, can't it? So it feels like a good space to
that your words will help people.
Yeah, well, I've got a family to protect as well, haven't I? So it was difficult, but I'm proud of where I've come from, proud of my roots.
Well, keep doing what you're doing in the paddle world. Obviously, this is a Padel Stories podcast, so keep doing what you're doing. We'll see many more paddle-thons, many more fundraisers, and well done. Take care.
Thank you.
Ciao. Ciao.
Well done. You are amazing. So proud of you.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Great.
Oh.